going to tell you a story today from Margaret Reed MacDonald's book, Peace Tales. There are a lot of good stories in that book. All the animals decided to have a contest. They wanted to find out who was the strongest, who had the most strength. It was Elephant's idea. Chimpanzee was the first one to arrive, and he said, "Look at these arms. These arms have strength." Chimpanzee sat down. And then Deer arrived. She said, "My long legs have a lot of strength." And Deer sat down. Leopard was next. She stretched out her claws. "These claws have strength," she said. And Leopard sat down. Next came Bushbuck with his big horns. He said, "My horns are very, very strong." And Bushbuck sat down. They were all there, all except for the human being, man. Man was late. He was late because he was hiding his gun in the bush. But when he arrived, he pranced around the circle, flexing his muscles, saying, "We can begin now. I have strength." And the contest began. Chimpanzee went first. He climbed up a tree. He bent the tree over and tied it, and then he turned and said, "See, these arms have strength." And all of the animals said, "Strength, strength. He has strength." Deer went to the center of the circle. She said, "My legs have strength." And she ran 2 miles and then turned around and ran 2 miles back. And she wasn't even out of breath. "Isn't that strength?" she said. And the animals said, "Strength, strength. That is strength." Leopard came with her sharp claws. And she began to dig and dig and dig and dig, and oh, the earth flew. And she turned and she said, "See, I have strength." And the animals agreed. They said, "Yes, strength, strength. That is strength." Bushbuck stepped in, lowered his sharp horns to the ground, and he plowed a road into the bush. And then he turned around and he plowed a road back and said, "See, that is strength." And the animals said, "Yes, strength, strength. That is strength." And then it was Elephant's turn. Elephant walked over to the trees that were standing next to each other, and he leaned on the trees, and they went. He said, "See, elephant means strength." And the animals said, "Yes, strength, strength. That is strength." Man stepped in the center of the circle. He said, "I'll show you strength. Look at these muscles." And he turned cartwheels. He did back somersaults. And he jumped up and down and ran back and forth and said, "See, isn't that strength?" And the animals looked at each other and said, "Well, it was entertaining." "I'll show you strength," said man. And then he did 50 push-ups and then 80 sit-ups. He climbed up a palm tree and he threw palm nuts down. And he came back and said, "See now, isn't that strength?" And the animals said, "Well, you did a lot of different things, but I don't know if it's strength." By this time, Man was frustrated and angry. He went back into the bush and picked up his rifle and returned. He aimed his rifle at Elephant and bang! Elephant fell down dead. Isn't that strength? Strength, strength. Isn't that strength? Man bragged. But he looked around and there was no one there to listen to him. They had all gone into the woods. They turned to each other and said, strength? Was that strength? Strength? No, that was death. That was death. And to this day, whenever man ventures into the forest or the jungle, all of the animals hide. They know that man is the only animal that does not know the difference between strength and death. I tell that story today because June 4th through June 6th is the National Gun Violence Awareness Day. And we do need to do something about the gun violence in our country. Telling this story is my little bit for now. I hope you enjoyed it. Take it and tell it.